What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you how I created this really cute set of multicoloured opal nails complete with a little 3D acrylic flower and some bling. This set was super easy and inspired by a gorgeous ring I found on Pinterest. So if you guys would be interested to see how I completed this look, then just keep on watching. So guys, diving right in with this set, and I've already gone ahead and created my base layer. So I've just popped on some nail tips and done a really thin enhancement with some clear builder gel, and I'm now going in with the first of my base colours. So I'm starting with my opal nail, and for that base layer I'm going to be applying one coat of this Indigo nails gel. This one is part of their glass collection and is called Wow, and is absolutely stunning. So like I said, I'm going in with one coat of this, and then onto that wet gel I'm going to be mixing in some of this white and blue gel paints, and I'm basically just adding some little squiggles of this, and then I'm going to start working in some of that colour in with that wet gel. I basically just want to add various degrees of colour and different shades in different parts of the nail, and it's just going to basically come together once I pop on that mylar, and the mylar will basically shift different shades. So that's the effect that I was going with here, and it just gives the more appearance of that multicoloured look that I was going for. So again, just mixing some of this blue gel in there, and then when I was happy with that base layer I did go ahead and pop that into my LED light for 60 seconds. And then my next step is to go in and start adding some of my mylar, but first I added a clear layer of builder gel to that nail, and then onto the wet gel I'm going to be adding some of this mylar flakes. I have two different colours here. I have lavender, which shifts from purple to green, and then I have this really beautiful sort of iridescent one that has a gold, blue and green shift and sort of like a burnt amber, so they really complement each other well. So I'm going to be filling the nail with that, and then I am going to be again going in with some more gel paints that I have mixed together. This time I mixed a lavender shade of gel polish with some white and clear, and I'm going to add this to different parts of the nail, and then I will go ahead and add some more mylar onto that wet gel, just so when I go in and encapsulate the nail they have a different shade on various parts of the nail, and it has that more multicoloured feel that I was going with my opal nail. And obviously if you guys were doing this on your natural nail, you do want to remember to leave a little gap between your sidewalls and also the cuticle area, so when you go in to encapsulate it won't lift at a later date. But anyway, back onto the nails, I'm going in with some more of that blue gel paint, and I'm just basically repeating the process that I just did before. I'm adding some colour, again leaving a little bit of that transparent feel to the nail, and then I will add some more mylar onto that wet gel, and then I will go ahead and fully cure that nail. And then I finished off that opal nail by going in with some more of that purple translucent gel I used at the beginning. So now that I have that opal nail finished, I'm now going in to start working on my base colours for the rest of the nails. So for my pointer finger and also the ring finger, I will be using Silcare's Cover Pink, and I'm going to be doing two coats of this. So as you can see, I start with a slightly larger bead at the cuticle area, and then I will slowly start to form my apex area, drag the remainder of that gel down to the tip, and then I will go in with a slightly smaller bead just to fill in the rest of that nail, and then I repeat the process with my second layer, curing each for a full minute and 20 seconds. And then finally, the base colour for my pinky nail is going to be this absolutely gorgeous builder gel in a bottle. This one is their white one. It's from Halo Nails and is absolutely perfect to work with. I simply love it. It is such a vibrant shade of white, and it does not yellow under my light, which I absolutely love. So I will be doing two coats of this. Again, as you can see, I start with a slightly larger bead at my cuticle area to start forming the apex, and then I will drag the remainder down to the tip, and then I will repeat the process with a second layer, curing each for 60 seconds. And finally, I'm going in with Silcare's Clear Builder Gel to encapsulate that ring finger. Again, as you could see, starting with my larger bead at that cuticle area to form my apex, and then I drag the remainder down to the tip of the nail, and then I will go in with a slightly smaller bead just to fill in the centre point and the end of that nail. And And then my last step for my base is to go ahead and fully cure that nail for 2 minutes, and then I file and buff the nail off of camera, and this is what the nail design looks like before I go ahead and start working on the nail art. So I'm now going to go ahead and start working on the nail art, and I'm starting with the pointer finger, and I'm going in with Hello Fall number 7 from Missu gel, and I'm applying this to the bottom half of the nail, and then I again do 2 coats, curing each for 30 seconds in between. And then using a fine detail brush and also some white gel paint, I'm going to be going ahead and outlining basically just where those 2 colours meet, and I'm just doing a really fine line there, and then I will do a chevron V from the top of the cuticle area meeting down to that line, and I will just go over that until I'm happy with the shape, and then I will go ahead and cure that for 30 seconds. So guys, I'm moving on with the ring finger, and this one is my favourite finger from this whole set. So I'm going to be doing like a geode design on this. So I'm basically just doing like an irregular sort of squiggle going down the middle of the nail, and then I will do the same on the other side and join them together, and that will be the centre point for my geode. And then I'm going in with that Wow gel from Indigo Nails, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in the centre of that nail. And then again I will go in with my white and blue gel paints, and I will just go ahead and create some details in the middle of that design. So again, when I go in with that mylar, it just shifts different shades on various parts of that nail. I have gone ahead and completely sped up this process for you because it's exactly the same as I did with the ring finger, but I just think it looks really cool when you go in and encapsulate that mylar, and you could see it shift from different colours on various parts of the actual design. So again, using tiny bits of that mylar, I'm going in and filling up where I have created that little space, and I'm using both colours again. And then when I was happy with that, I did go ahead and fully cure that nail for 60 seconds. And then when I had finished doing that part of the design, I'm now going to go in and start adding some colour to the outside of my geode. But first I wanted to add like a sort of wet on wet layer, so it had more of a dispersed appearance on the first one. So I'm going in onto that wet top coat that I just added, and then I'm mixing these 2 shades of colours together. This is Wow and also Hello Fall, and I'm basically just outlining where I added the white, and I'm mixing that in with the top coat so it has a nice translucent effect. And then as you could see, I've just gone ahead and added some more purple, and I'm now finishing off my geode by adding a mix of white and blue. And then when I was happy with that, I fully cured that nail for 60 seconds again. So now we're moving on to the nail art for the middle finger. At first I was just going to leave this bare, and then I decided it needed a little something, and then I got completely carried away. So I first started by adding some random squiggles going down the sides of those nails, and then I added some little polka dots. I was just using the end of my brush because it has this little perfect round tip that allows me to get different sized polka dots on that nail, and it was just easier. So I'm basically doing that with my first layer, and then when I was happy with that part of my design, I fully cured that, and now I'm going in with some of this lily white acrylic powder from Shades of Shimmer. I got mine from A&A Glitter. If you guys are interested in any of the A&A Glitter products that I have used in this video, I do have a discount code that I will leave linked down below for you guys, so you could get some cash off your next order. But with this, I'm basically just going in and forming a small C shape. You will notice that I am completely still very new to acrylic work, so I'm still getting the consistency of how large I need the sizes of beads to be for my 3D work. So you will notice that I thought that this was a little too large, so I just went ahead and removed some of that wet acrylic and then formed that into a little petal. And I'm going to be doing 2 petals for the outside, so I will be doing one above this, and these are going to be my largest petals, sorry. And then I'm just going to go ahead and repeat that process, and as you can see, I'm slightly tucking up that acrylic so it has more of a 3D appearance to the nail. So just before it dries, I will go ahead and just pick it up at each end so it has a little bit of a curve to it and it isn't lying flat on the nail. And then my next step was to go ahead and repeat the process with the 2 middle petals, but this time I'm going to be doing these off to the side where each of my last petals meet. So I'm just completely repeating that process with doing some smaller C's, and I do that at each end, and then I will go ahead and slightly tuck those beads of acrylic up again, so when my design is finished it has more of a little bit of a 3D appearance as opposed to just lying flat on the nail. And I completely forgot to mention that I'm also using my little Alpha 3D brush here that I got from Galaxy Nails. It is such a dream to work with and makes my life so much easier when it comes to acrylic work. I highly suggest that if you are like myself and you are beginning. But yeah, I'm basically going in to finish off this flower with a tiny little bead of acrylic right into that centre, and I will leave that to get slightly drier just so it makes it easier and more pliable for me to form this into a little squiggle. And as you can see, I've switched over tools to my little silicone tool here, and I just find it so much easier to work with and form the shape that I want in the centre of my rose with this as opposed to the brush. And then to fill up some more of this nail, I decided to go in and add some small leaves coming from the bottom of my rose here. So again, I'm just using my brush to form the shape that I want, and then I switch over tools just to create the middle of my flower so it has a little bit more of a pattern to it, and then I will completely leave that nail to set while I move on with the rest of my design. So to finish off this set, I'm now going in with a layer of top coat, and I'm going to be applying this to all of the nails for a glossy finish, and then I pop that into my LED light for 60 seconds. So guys, since this video was already really long, I just wanted to show you the little finishing touches that I added to my design off camera. So for my pinky nail, I went ahead and added a little bit of striping tape and some bling. And then for the pointer nail, I also added some gold foil and some bling. And then I finished off my geode nail by adding a little bit of foil to the outside of that geode. And again, I topped that nail with a glossy top coat. And finally guys, here is what my finished set looks like once everything was done, and I must admit I am so in love with that multicoloured mylar and the effect that it gave on that nail, and I hope now that I'm up close you guys could see the effect that I was going with by adding the different shades of colour on various parts of those nails. So to finish off today's video guys, again I really hope you enjoyed this set, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, I would totally appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel and you haven't already, don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit that notifications bell. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!